Hello, good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about VR. So my name is Aurelien. I'm in charge of the licensing and publishing for Ubisoft in Asia. For the one that may not know about Ubisoft, we are a very big company, 10,000 employees, around 30 different countries. And the one particularity of Ubisoft is that 80% of our resources are developers. So we are first a developers and also a publisher. So in China, we have a presence in Shanghai and also in Chengdu, but we are everywhere in terms of development and also in terms of publishing. So Ubisoft, the key figures, just to reframe that in one slide, we're doing around 1.4 billion euro this year turnover. We're releasing around 15 franchises, and we're even doing now a movie franchise as well. So we released Assassin's Creed last month in China. And it's a 30 years company, so we have a lot of background and a lot of historical with the gamer, and we try to develop this. And obviously, we are on the VR as well. It's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to explain you the Ubisoft VR strategy, the mobile lineup, what we have just been revealed with Google, and some tips for the developers here in the room. Before that, I'm going to just show you a video about Ubisoft, what we do, who we are. So this is who we are. As you can see, we have a lot of fun, and we also are very crazy about VR. So Ubisoft, in terms of VR, has been involved since the early beginning of this new business and gaming field. So we have been released 3 games on VR, what we call the VR HD. So we have 3 games on PlayStation 4 VR, but also with HTC Valve and Oculus, obviously. So we have Eagle Flight, which is a flying simulations game where you're controlling a bird in PvP area. It's pretty fun. You can try it. It's out. We also have a game called Werewolf Within, where it's a cooperation game where 4 players has to collaborate together to spot who is the werewolf within the assembly. So it's pretty funny as well. And the last one, Star Trek, based on the famous movie IP, which is not released yet and will be released in a couple of months. So we have been investing on this market. We already have 3 games. And we also have been doing more with what we call the arcade VR and amusement centers, which is pretty developed here in China. So, for example, we work with MMO1 project with one of our games called Trackmania, and we have been doing with these crazy virtual machines and moving machine all the movement of the cars. And we also are in Taiwan in HTC with HTC Vive on their Viveland Center. So we have a full room with the Rabbids VR experience. So Ubisoft is pretty active on the VR in every field. And as well, as you can see, we even try to do more than VR. This is the SR. We call that the stinky reality. It's a marketing campaign from one of our games called Soft Park, and it helps you to feel and to smell when Cartmat is farting. So it's pretty funny. So let's talk about mobile VR. Sorry. So now we are in a mobile era. So it's not only for VR, it's also for all the video game industry. The mobile have been changing everything. It has been changing the size of the audience globally. It has been changing the business model into free-to-play that has reached the Western market. And we do believe that the mobile will also change the VR industry. How? So the first thing, if you look at the data, so there's pretty lot of data everywhere. I'm not so sure which one is accurate, so I'm not really here for that. What is important, it's more to see the trade and the tendency. What you can see here, it's on the VR side, if you compare the standalone, the PC, the console, and the mobile, that the mobile business will be driving the majority of the traffic by 2020. So that means some companies like Google with Daydream, but also Samsung Gear VR, and some more will come probably, will really take the big majority of the stake. So by the next 2 or 3 years, everybody will have a mobile devices which is VR supporting. So this is extremely important because this is just coming right now. And on the Daydream alliances, it's launched by Google, but the main manufacturers are supporting it. You have Huawei, Xiaomi, everybody actually is going to support this technology. And we do believe then the VR will start to be massively spread around. So last week, no, 2 weeks ago at GDC in San Francisco, we announced a partnership with Google, and we are developing an exclusive game on their Daydream platforms, using and leveraging one of our top IP and mainstream IP called the Rabbids. So the game is going to call Virtual Rabbids, The Big Plan. We don't have yet the Chinese name, but it will for sure arrive in China because the IP is popular and the Chinese players also love this universe. But basically, you are playing a Rabbids into a virtual world, and you have the clicker from Daydream, so you can interact with the Rabbids across different environments. This is pretty fun. This is very casual. This is very mass market. And this is also something that the VR mobile will open in the next few years. I will show you a quick video that we revealed last week in San Francisco. So this is coming soon on Daydream. As you may know, Google is not, the platform distribution is not yet here or is not in China. So we're also looking for local partners to bring this content here. So don't hesitate to reach us. Also, if you're interested by mobile VR, this product is pretty fun and you should try it. So the impact for the developers. I don't know if there's some developers here in this room, but I guess there's some. There's three main impacts of this mobile era revolution on VR. The first one is the VR will move from a niche business to a mass market business. This is extremely important to understand that because today VR is mainly a niche in a niche. And when you're developing content, you need budget, obviously, to develop it, but you also need to get your money back. So it's very important that you're investing on a field that have a reach and a potential audience. And as we have seen just before with the data, the mobile VR will allow this reach, this massive reach, so the return on invest for the developers. I'm not saying that you cannot make money right now on HDVR. I'm just saying it's a bit more complicated and you are more targeting a niche market. The second thing that's going to change on the VR, thanks to the mobile, it's you will have no ticket entrance. So that means with the reach, with the volume, you will be able to do free-to-play business on VR. Today there's some content free-to-play, especially back to 1 or 2 years ago. But actually, you cannot make money with a free-to-play business model when you are on a niche market. The business model needs a scale to work. So this is very important to understand that because, especially for Chinese developers, which are, on my point of view, pretty good at monetization, at free-to-play business model. So that means you will be able tomorrow to do VR content free-to-play and have an audience so you can get the return on investment with a 3 or 4% converting user. And then the last point, which we all love, that it costs less. So by entering into a more casual market, into a more mass market, the expectations, the development costs will also lower down. If you want to develop a VR game for PlayStation 4, it won't be the same cost than if you want to develop a game for Daydream or for Samsung Gear VR. It does not mean the game is less good. It just means the audience is different, has different needs. So you will have to invest a little bit less. You can go with smaller team, with more casual graphism, because the audience is different. And then as a developer, it's less risky to invest on this field. So just to sum up that, because after 5 minutes left for the Q&A, I'm going to wrap up for all the developers here the 4 main points of mobile VR. The first thing is by 2020, the main majority of the traffic, 50% of the VR traffic will be on mobile. So you have to keep that in mind when you develop a game or if you start working on a new project. This is extremely important to take that into consideration. The second point is the massive scale will allow free-to-play. Today it's very hard to do free-to-play on PC or console VR because it's a niche market and then you won't get your return on invest. The third point is everything with this massive and critical audience will be more casual, and casual games are cheaper to produce than hardcore games. It's as simple as this. So the entrance ticket will be more free, more lower, as I explained before. And then the distribution will go through the app stores. So this is a business model that everybody knows, and it's very simple for the developers to go, to submit your app, and to reach a massive audience. So this is it for me. After we have a couple of questions, I'm going to just give you my contact here. If you want, you just scan my WeChat, and we can be in touch if we want to talk about Ubisoft Mobile or VR. Thank you very much.